Hey, what's up everyone? This is Snackbox. Welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. In this video, I want to show you two teams for Fireknight. One team is the one I use for Fireknight Hard Stage 10, and the other one is a duo team for Stage 20. Now, let me show you my hard team first. This is the team I use. It's Cardiel in the lead spot with a speed aura. I have Cold Hard here, Martyr with faultless defense, which is so good, Kaimar for the reset, and Nude. Now I have all of these champions in a damage build because I want to get through these waves as fast as possible, to get to the Fireknight as fast as possible, to reduce the time. And yeah, so let's jump right into it. Now it's very important to have enough damage to clear the waves fast enough, because there's definitely a chance that, for example, your Cold Heart gets killed if one of these champions get a turn. So you want to make sure to kill them before they take a turn. That's basically the goal, and that's why you need to have you know, enough damage to clear the waves fast enough. This is also a thing that I noticed. This Riho here, you know, can cause some problems if you don't control her, because she can reflect debuffs and control debuffs, for example, and then she would just destroy my Cold Heart. But you know, the way I have it right now, with the amount of damage I have, it's not happening. So this is 100% win rate, this team. It's not very free-to-play friendly, as you can see, but it's still, you know, a decent option for a lot of people, I guess. I just wanted to show you what team I use, and maybe it will give some inspiration for other players. Because I really think you can do something similar with other champions. So basically the way this works is that the Fireknight almost depleted his shield just by hitting my team, because they have increased defense from Martyr, and Martyr has faultless defense. He takes 5 hits already, and then all the champions will counterattack, and then his shield sits at like 5 or 6. And yeah, that's basically all it takes to get the shield down. And then it's just, you know, my Cardiel goes in with a ally attack, Nude will decrease the turn meter, and then Cold Heart and Nude will hit the Fireknight with the enemy max HP hit, and then it's reset and all over again, and that's basically it. So let's run it one more time. They all have pretty decent gear, honestly. All of them are also pretty fast. Some of them have like my top pieces of gear of artifacts that I have on this account. So it's not like it's easy to build, but it's also not completely crazy. A lot of people can do this, I believe. Really, the best champion, or the champion that makes Fireknight so much easier, is Nude. Without Nude, it's just so much harder, because of the freeze on his A1 and the amount of damage he can put out, right? He has a free hitter on his A1, it's just so good. He's the Fireknight champion. Take a look at the count of the shield once he takes a turn. 21, 16, now everybody goes with a counter attack. And we're sitting at 6. Now Cardiel with the ally attack, and the shield is down. We have decreased defense here from Martyr. Max HP hits. He's already at 50%. Now reset. Ally attack. Get the turn meter down. Max HP hit, and that's it. So yeah, pretty solid, honestly. 42 turns. As you can see, the best run I had so far was 33. And that probably has to do with how fast I kill the waves. And yeah, so that's pretty much it about my Fireknight Hard 10 team. Now let me show you the stats. So as you can see, I have my cardial in very fast speed gear. So without the area bonuses, I'm sitting at 311 speed, 4.6k attack, 100% crit rate, 102% crit rate, a little bit too much, but that's fine. 241 crit damage, and that's all I care about, honestly. All I want is attack, speed, crit rate, and crit damage. Now, very important, it's very important that you survive the first hit of the Fireknight. So you definitely want some survivability, right? Now the blasting definitely helps because I get a little bit of HP and defense. But overall, I don't have too much HP or defense that I get from my artifacts. But that's basically the stats I have on my cardial, right? Now, if I add the Fireknight area bonus, it's a little bit more. I have the ignore defense completely maxed out because I just want to do as much damage as possible, so the run is as fast as possible. But I don't think you necessarily need the 20% defense ignore. I don't think you need it. Now, you definitely want to be somewhere around this area in terms of speed, like 320-ish speed. That's where you want to be. Now let's take a look at Newt. Or actually, he's booked, right? Completely booked, that's important. I have Phantom Touch on him, just for the extra hit on the shield. Is it necessary? Probably not. I wasn't running Faultless Defense before on Martyr, that's why I still have Phantom Touch on some of my champions, but I don't think it's necessary, honestly. With Faultless Defense, it's perfectly fine if you don't run Phantom Touch. In terms of Masteries, I went with War Master, and just offense tree and support tree for the cycle of magic to get the ally attack more often for the waves, maybe. It's just a chance. And a little bit more speed, right, from the speed sets through Lore of Steel. Now, as you can see, I haven't even finished the Masteries, but you could definitely do something like this, get the kill streak, maybe this, right? Like increase the duration of buffs. That's not bad because he buffs a lot, right? Like he has this crit rate and crit damage buff, and then he buffs block revive and block debuffs. So you could definitely go for lasting gift and then kill streak. So that's my cardial for this team. Now my Newt is in lethal and perception. This merciless ring is just there because it's technically a quad roll on defense. Let's take a look at the stats. So he also has a 3-star blasting, same as Cardiel. I was running him with Phantom Touch as well to get that extra hit on the shield of the Fireknight, but I decided to change it to Soul Reap now because I don't need it anymore, and Soul Reap makes more sense. In terms of stats, he's sitting at 243 speed, 5.8k defense, 48k HP, 100% crit rate, 250% crit damage, and 370 accuracy. That's very important. He needs to land his debuffs because he can decrease the turn meter of the Fireknight, right, which is A1. So that's really, really important. So as you can see with the area bonus, I'm at 419, which is perfect. So you definitely want to be around 400 accuracy just to be consistent enough. But yeah, so 240 speed should be fine, 100% crit rate, 250 crit damage. That's what you should aim for. Something like this. Nothing too crazy, honestly. Very important to have the accuracy. And then just, he's tanky enough anyway because you want to build him with defense, right? The more defense he has, the faster he clears the waves. And, this A2 hits pretty hard, honestly. He needs to be booked, of course. Then his Masteries, I went offense support for a little bit more accuracy here. And, Giant Slayer for more damage. Also, I went with Cycle of Magic, so he can, get his skills back. Or there's a small chance that he can get his skills back. Then I have my Kaimar. He's in lethal. This protection piece is just very decent attack percentage chest. And these are the stats: 5.2k attack, 241 speed. He needs to be slower than Newt. At least 1 speed slower because he needs to reset all the max HP hits, right? Then you can build him, or generally you can build all the champions with 70% crit rate because Cardiel buffs 30% crit rate on his A3. But to be able to clear the waves faster, you should build your champions with 100% crit rate. That would be ideal. But in my situation here, I wasn't able to do so, to maintain the speed, get enough attack, and get the crit damage up. So I went with a little bit over 70% crit rate, and then as much crit damage and attack as possible, and also maintain a good amount of speed, but a little bit slower than Newt. Remember, Newt sits at 243, Kaimar sits at 241. Now with the Fireknight bonus, it would be 261. Then we have Martyr. I have Martyr in a bolster set. This is very important, and a perception set. And the bolster set pretty much helps to tank the first hit of the Fireknight, which hurts a lot. And if you have squishy champions like Cold Heart, you definitely need some survivability. So the Fireknight sits at 250 speed, so make sure all your champions are faster than that. Now I've built mine with less than 250 speed, right? Because I have 20 speed from the area bonus. That just gave me the freedom to build them a little bit, slower. And but you want to make sure that Martyr goes before the Fireknight, so she needs to be faster than 250 speed. And she needs to be the slowest in your team. I also have it with 78% crit rate only, which is enough. 4.4k defense and 250 crit damage. Now, also very important, she needs enough accuracy, 400 accuracy is what you should aim for to be very consistent. Now, you can definitely go lower a little bit, 350 should still do the work, but I want to, make it as consistent as possible that she lands her debuffs And yeah, so I think that's the sweet spot. Something around that area, like 400, 420. Accuracy should be fine. And just remember, you don't really need the ignore defense. It just makes the run faster because you clear the waves faster. But these are the stats that are aimed for with my Martyr. Now let me show you that again without the area bonus. It's, you know, nothing crazy, honestly. The area bonus does a lot here. But, you know, I was really in need of those stats because that's the best Boatster set I have to be able to build her with damage and survivability. And yeah, that was just the best I could come up with. That's why I needed the area bonuses. And then we have Cold Hard for the last spot. She's in two speed sets and one perception set. Now for her, it's not really important to have accuracy. It just helps a little when she places poisons, but other than that, you don't really need the accuracy. You can definitely focus on like 70% crit rate should be fine, right? You don't need more than that because remember, we have the buff from Cardiel, but if you want to clear the waves faster, more crit rate is better. But you can definitely aim for 70 crit rate and then around like 300 speed. She needs to be the second fastest. Or like faster than Kaimar at least. So she would, you know, use her max HP hit before Kaimar resets. Yeah, so also another thing you need to keep in mind, she needs a decent amount of defense and HP, so she wouldn't get killed by the first hit of the Fireknight because she's very squishy. That's why I basically went with a HP percentage. Chest, I have an HP ring on her, and you know, just try to get a little bit of survivability in her, like in her build. Also like small percentages on the shield and stuff like that really help. So yeah, that's my Fireknight Hard team. The most important thing is this blessing here. Faultless defense on Martyr. It makes it so much easier to get the shield down because, you know, she will reflect damage if she places this increased defense, which she places with counter attack as well. And this will, you know, count as 5 hits on the shield. So yeah, that's basically the strategy, how I built my team for Fireknight Hard. Also have Giant Slayer on Cold Hard. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So War Master, Giant Slayer really help to take the Fireknight down faster. And the Faultless defense. And you can also use Phantom Touch on your champions to get the, you know, extra hit on the Fireknight shield. But in this scenario with Faultless defense, I don't think it's necessary. So you could definitely go for something else. Let me show you the preset real quick. So the team setup, Cardiel on round 1, you don't want him to use his A2, block his A2, start with the ally attack and then block it. Block the A2, A3. And then you want to start with the with block debuffs and revive on death because you don't want the Fireknight to place decreased speed on your team. And then prioritize the ally attack. For Cold Hard, it doesn't really matter in round 1. On round 2, you want to make sure she has her max HP hit ready for the Fireknight. So you want to block that and let her start with the A2. And then in round 3, at the Fireknight, you want her to start with the A1 and then prioritize the A3. Martyr doesn't matter in round 1. Round 2, you want to block that counter attack. She can use everything else. And then in round 3 at the Fireknight, you want her to start with a counter attack but then block a2 and a3 and just let her use her a1 because she does a decent amount of damage, honestly. She can really smack. And she can place this decreased defense, which helps a lot to kill the Fireknight faster. And then for Kaimar, you want to block his a2 and a3 because his a1 does a decent amount of damage and also can place poisons. Then you want him to use his a1 and a2 on round 2 at wave 2 because sometimes this control, the sleep, can really help. But you want to block his Seal of Magic in round 1 and round 2. And then round 3 at the Fireknight, you want him to start with the a1, block the a2, and prioritize his skill cooldown reduction. Now for Newt, round 1 doesn't matter. Round 2, you want to block his max HP hit because you want it to be ready for the Fireknight. And then at the Fireknight, you block the a2, you start with the a1 and prioritize the max HP hit. But you don't really need to do it, he will do it anyway. Okay, so that's the team setup. Now for the stage 20 duo team, there's also Newt involved, as you can see, and Lady Mikage. Now I really believe that you can swap out Lady Mikage with a lot of champions. Like Newt really does most of the job here. Now my idea was just to pair him with the ally attacker, and Lady Mikage seems like the most, you know, free to play kind of version because everybody can get her at one point, everybody can fuse her. And that's basically why I used her, just to show you guys that it's possible. Now I hope this can spark some ideas for you. You can definitely pair Newt with different champions, right? Like it doesn't need to be necessarily Mikage. I also think you can duo Fireknight also with another champion, as like not with Newt, like with you know, like a Cold Heart or something. But I just haven't tried it out. This just what I came up with. The team setup for this team. Now Newt, you know, I don't want him to use his max HP hit on the wave 2. On wave 1 it doesn't really matter. On wave 2 I don't want him to use his max HP hit, and then round 3 I want him to start with the a1. Now for Mikage, I want Mikage to start off with an ally attack, but then I want her to metamorph and use her stun. So every time the enemy waves would take a turn, you know, it just is a little bit faster because they're not doing the animations of attacking and stuff like that, and it just makes it faster. Same thing on round 2. I blocked the ally attack here because I wanted to be ready on the Fireknight, and then here I prioritize the metamorph to get her back into the base form, and then prioritize the ally attack and block the metamorph so she doesn't go back for whatever reason. And yeah, let's do a run real quick, and then I will show you the build of Mikage. Now as you can see, all of them are stunned most of the time. Now I got my Mikage in Relentless, which is not necessary. It's just the way I build her for Hydra and Arena, but you don't need to have her in Relentless. But you will see from time to time she will take extra turns, and that just helps to get the ally attack back, but it's not necessary. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You pretty much stun lock the enemy waves and Newt just does the rest. I haven't tested this too much, but I think it's a pretty solid option. It's not crazy fast, but it's also not not really slow. I think it's a solid option. For example, if you're trying to, save resources when you try to do like, or when we have events like right now, where we have, a Fireknight tournament and the Champ Train tournament at the same time, then it might be a good idea to do that. But at the same time, I gotta say, Fireknight is probably one of these dungeons that are very, very beneficial even for endgame players, because you can still get good savage gear, which is really important, or regen gear. Like the gear sets in Fireknight are still relevant. Like the gear sets in Fireknight is still relevant, and yeah, it might be the better idea to farm the hard stages, but if you don't care about better gear that much and you want to save resources, you can do something like this on stage 20, which is absolutely fine. As you can see, 2 minutes, 2 minutes 16. That's normally what, like, the amount of time this run takes. Now you can definitely optimize this for, doing, like, give them the masteries for it. Now let me show you the build actually. So I have my Lady Mikage in Pinpoint and Relentless. And these are the stats. 325 speed, way too much accuracy, but that's just because I built her for Arena. If I add the Fireknight bonuses, she's at 345 speed. And yeah, you don't need that much accuracy for stage 20. For stage 20, it's enough if you build her at like 230 accuracy. But yeah, I would definitely build her with like 300 speed or as fast as possible, right? Because you want her to cycle her skills back to get the ally attack. She also doesn't need to be in Pinpoint or Relentless. You can pretty much use any gear on her you want. Just make sure she has enough speed and enough accuracy. So around 230 accuracy and then 300 speed, something like that is what you should aim for. Also, she has Polymorph Blessing. She's not even fully booked, but I don't think she needs to be booked for this. But it definitely helps. As you can see, you can decrease the cooldown of the ally attack. And then her masteries are not finished yet as well. Then Newt, still the same Newt as the one for the hard team. Yeah, also you can lower here the accuracy to like 200 something, 230, even 200 it should be fine. But yeah, you should definitely keep him at 100% crit rate and should definitely maintain the speed. Like 250 to 40 should be fine as well, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this sparked some ideas for Fireknight Stage 20 for some other duo teams. You can definitely optimize this by using Spirit Haste, for example, and while you are leveling food. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And with that being said, see you in the next video.